excellent and proper, and yet he has a bad conscience with it all, for the exceptional is his task. 187. Offensiveness in expression. This artist offends me by the way in which he expresses his ideas, his very excellent ideas, so diffusely and forcibly, and with such gross rhetorical artifices, as if he were speaking to the mob. We feel always as if "in bad company" when devoting some time to his art. 188. Work. How closely work and the workers now stand even to the most leisurely of us! The royal courtesy in the words, "We are all workers," would have been a cynicism and an indecency even under Louis XIV. 189. The Thinker. He is a thinker, that is to say, he knows how to take things more simply than they are. 190. Against eulogizers. A. One is only praised by one's equals. B. Yes, and he who praises you says you are my equal. 191. Against many a vindication. The most perfidious manner of injuring a cause is to vindicate it intentionally with fallacious arguments. 192. The good-natured. What is it that distinguishes the good-natured, whose countenances beam kindness from other people? They feel quite at ease in presence of a new person, and are quickly enamoured of him. They therefore wish him well. Their first opinion is, "He pleases me." With him there follow in succession the wish to appropriate (they make little scruple about the person's worth), rapid appropriation, joy in the possession, and actions in favour of the person possessed. 193. Kant's joke. Kant tried to prove, in a way that dismayed "everybody," that "everybody" was in the right. That was his secret joke. He wrote against the learned, in favour of the popular prejudice. He wrote, however, for the learned, and not for the people. 194. The "open-hearted" man. That man acts probably always from concealed motives, for he has always communicable motives on his tongue, and almost in his open hand. 195. Laughable. See, he runs away from men. They follow him, however, because he runs before them. They are such a gregarious lot. 196. The limits of our sense of hearing. We hear only the questions to which we are capable of finding an answer. 197. Caution, therefore! There is nothing we are fonder of communicating to others than the seal of secrecy, together with what is under it. 198. Vexation of the proud man. The proud man is vexed even with those who help him forwards. He looks angrily at his carriage horses. 199. Liberality. Liberality is often only a form of timidity in the rich. 200. Laughing. To laugh means to love mischief, but with a good conscience. 201. In applause. In applause there is always some kind of noise, even in self-applause. 202. A spendthrift. He has not yet the poverty of the rich man who has counted all his treasure. He squanders his spirit with the irrationalities of the spendthrift nature. 203. Hic niger est. Usually he has no thoughts, but in exceptional cases bad thoughts come to him. 204. Beggars and Courtesy. One is not discourteous when one knocks at a door with a stone when the bell-pull is a-wanting. So thinks all beggars and necessitous persons, but no one thinks they are in the right. 205. Need. Need is supposed to be the cause of things, but in truth it is often only the effect of the things themselves. 206. During the rain. It rains, and I think of the poor people who now crowd together with their many cares, which they are unaccustomed to conceal. All of them, therefore, ready and anxious to give pain to one another, and thus provide themselves with a pitiable kind of comfort, even in bad weather. This only is the poverty of the poor. 207. The Envious Man. That is the envious man. It is not desirable that he should have children. He would be envious of them, because he can no longer be a child. 208. A great man. Because a person is, a great man, we are not authorized to infer that he is a man. Perhaps he is only a boy, or a chameleon of all ages, or a bewitched girl. 209. A mode for asking for reasons. There is a mode for asking for our reasons, which not only makes us forget our best reasons, but also arouses in us a spite and repugnance against reason generally. A very stupefying mode of questioning, and properly an artifice of tyrannical men. 210. Moderation in diligence. One must not be anxious to surpass the diligence of one's father. That would make one ill. 211. Secret enemies. To be able to keep a secret enemy, that is a luxury which the morality even of the highest-minded persons can rarely afford. 212. Not letting oneself be deluded. His spirit has bad manners, it is hasty and always stutters with impatience, so that one would hardly suspect the deep breathing and the large chest of the soul in which it resides. 213. The way to happiness. A sage asked of a fool the way to happiness. The fool answered without delay, like one who had been asked the way to the next town: "Admire yourself, and live on the street." "Hold," cried the sage, "you require too much. It suffices to admire oneself." The fool replied, "But how can one constantly admire without constantly despising?" 214. Faith saves. Virtue gives happiness and a state of blessedness only to those who have a strong faith in their virtue. Not, however, to the more refined souls whose virtue consists of a profound distrust of themselves and of all virtue. After all, therefore, it is "faith that saves" here also, and be it well observed, not virtue. 215. The Ideal and the Material. You have a noble ideal before your eyes, but are you also such a noble stone that such a divine image could be formed out of you? Without that, is not all your labour barbaric sculpturing, a blasphemy of your ideal? 216. Danger in the voice. With a very loud voice a person is almost incapable of reflecting on subtle matters. 217. Cause and effect. Before the effect one believes in other causes than after the effect.